Standard request and response frameworks, or basic cron jobs, work well for simple logic, but complex AI workflows and heavy queues can cause these systems to shatter under the weight of timeouts and memory limits. Trigger.dev addresses this by acting as a dedicated platform for durable background tasks, providing a controlled environment where long-running code can execute reliably. In this video, we integrate Trigger.dev into a TypeScript project, define a task, and trigger it live in under 5 minutes. To follow along, you will need Node version 18.20 or higher, or the bun runtime, TypeScript version 5.0.4 or later, and a free Trigger.dev account. Making this shift moves your asynchronous logic out of the standard request lifecycle and into an execution layer designed to persist through server restarts and network interruptions. Start by opening your existing project. We'll keep the terminal ready on the left and our file tree on the right. In your terminal, run the command npx trigger.dev at latest init. If you prefer pnpm or yarn, the standard DLX equivalents will work as well. If you're working in a CI environment or a headless terminal, be sure to add the -- no browser flag to prevent the initialization process from hanging. As the CLI finishes, it creates a /trigger directory, generates your trigger.config.ts file, and adds the necessary SDK packages. To bridge your local code with the platform, we need to establish a secure cryptographic link between your environment and the cloud. Head to your Trigger.dev dashboard, find the API key section, and copy your development key to your clipboard. Paste that key into your local.env file, assigning it to the variable trigger secret key. With this key in place, your local development environment now shares the same permission set and security context as your production cloud project. Before writing code, we need to address the most common cause of deployment failures: version mismatch. Open your package.json file to audit Trigger.dev dependency version numbers. The CLI, @trigger.dev/build, and @trigger.dev/SDK must all be pinned to the exact same version family. Otherwise, the local compiler and execution cloud may disagree on handling your tasks. Strict version discipline ensures that the code you write locally behaves identically when it is eventually deployed to the cloud. Let's look at /trigger/example.ts. The task wrapper registers your function with the platform. The ID property is the unique string used to trigger this logic from your backend. The run property contains your asynchronous business code. Because this code is wrapped in the Trigger.dev SDK, it automatically inherits features like retries and concurrency control without requiring additional infrastructure code. This setup allows you to focus on the business logic while delegating the complexities of the execution lifecycle to the platform. To see this in action, go back to your terminal and run npx trigger.dev at latest dev. This command starts a local server that watches your /trigger directory and synchronizes your local task definitions with the cloud dashboard. Now open the Trigger.dev web dashboard and navigate to the test page to find the task we just reviewed. You can provide a test JSON payload directly in the UI. When you're ready, click Run Task to initiate the execution. The dashboard will show the live run status, including the duration and the payload data, while simultaneously streaming the execution logs back to your local terminal. The cloud interface and your local terminal are now synchronized, allowing you to monitor the state and output of your background work in real time as the platform manages the run. The integration is successful, and you've verified that your first durable task can execute from start to finish. For your actual application, you can now trigger these tasks programmatically from your backend code using the tasks.trigger method. In our next video, we will explore type-safe triggering in Next.js, handling batch runs, and setting machine concurrency limits. You can also consult the documentation for more on self-hosting or the technical implementation of the CRU checkpoint resume system. By moving these workloads to a dedicated execution layer, you have ensured that your complex, long-running workflows can run to completion, regardless of standard serverless infrastructure limits.